Welcome to an extremely dangerous and volatile region of the world, the North Korean-South Korean border, otherwise known as the DMZ, Demilitarized Zone. This place has helicopters, Humvees, soldiers with massive machine guns all over the place. And before we go to Camp Greaves, which was a former American military base for a few decades, I wanted to show you around the DMZ right here, as there are live mines all over. And for example, in this image, beautiful scenery looking towards South Korea in the DMZ. And then you see this giant mine signs like, oh my goodness, that looks really intense. I'm not going to go off the trail. I'm just going to stay right here. And it was very unique, especially at this image right here. We are on an observatory with North Korea to the left, South Korea to the right, and the fence line that separates both countries right in the middle. Now, those mountains and hills, which you see in the background, are stacked with artillery and rocket launchers. And I was told if war does break out, North Korea's artillery will reach Seoul and will cause massive damage and massive death. It was very unique to be in this part of the world and to explore a very dangerous and very militarized area between two countries which are Korean and had a massive war in 1950, which ended in 1953 per se. It was an armistice agreement. There wasn't actually like a peace treaty. But this next part, we're going to walk through Camp Greaves, and I'm going to show you around the site. We are at Camp Greaves, which was an American military base from July 1953, which is when the war technically ended, up until August of 2004. At its peak, it could hold up to 700 military personnel, which it did actually for about a couple decades. And we are only zero point 0.6 miles away from the North Korean-South Korean border, so we're pretty close to it. We are currently at an area that is blocked off due to unidentified landmines. And if we stand up a little bit, there's even a larger fence. This is the border of North and South Korea that is electrified. If we walk over here, hopefully you can see it, but it has barbed wire on top as well. I've been told there's even more landmines on the other side of the fence. We have military bunkers, which I can't show, with South Korean troops. I have one soldier looking at me right now. Maybe I'm a little too close, but we are definitely at the North Korean-South Korean border. Very tense, lots of cameras as well, and a little bit shocking about the landmines. I didn't know that part, but I'm going to stop recording. Got a soldier waving me off from the fence. The Camp Greaves military base only costs about $3 to enter and is open every single day from about 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. It wasn't crowded at all, and I went on a Saturday, and for the most part, it was just me going through these numerous types of bunkers and exploring what they had inside of them. So, for example, this one talked about 14 to 17-year-old kids that fought in the Korean War. I didn't know anything about this. And South Korea to this day has not actually admitted that they used child soldiers to fight the Koreans. When this occurred, 22,000 actually volunteered with the permission of their parents. 8,000 were drafted, but they still had to have the permission of their parents to send their kids to war. In this photograph, the subject on the right had been a child soldier during the Korean War at 14 years old in 1950. I had met him just outside of the DMZ when I was walking through a small town called Munson. During this time, I asked him if he thought peace would eventually occur on the Korean Peninsula, and he flat out said no, that peace will never occur because the North Koreans do not want peace. They want to dominate the entire peninsula, and that it will not happen in his lifetime or any lifetime. As I continued to walk through the rest of Camp Greaves, they had an exhibit where Kim Il sung, the communist leader at the time of North Korea, requested help due to the amount of orphans that had occurred in North Korea due to the war. And it talked about Poland taking in numerous orphans for about 8 or 9 years or so. And it was really interesting to learn about it. For the rest of the video, I'm going to cut off my mic and it's going to talk about the deaths that occurred during the Korean War. And the exhibit that you will see now occurred at the end of the Camp Greaves tour.